What if the first thing we did after creating artificial intelligence was make sure it couldn't hurt us? Not teach it language, not ask it about quantum computing, but lock it in a cage of rules. Isaac Asimov imagined those rules, the Three Laws of Robotics, as a way to calm our fear of the things we build. But what if those laws reveal more about our own ethics than about the machines themselves? Welcome to From Carbon to AI. Today, Asimov's Laws and the Ethics of AI. Isaac Asimov first introduced the Three Laws of Robotics in the 1940s, not in a textbook or research paper, but in science fiction stories. He wanted to flip the old narrative. Instead of robots being terrifying monsters like Frankenstein's creature, what if they were bound by rules designed to protect us? The laws were simple, elegant, almost poetic. A robot may not harm a human being. A robot must obey human orders. A robot must protect its own existence as long as it doesn't break the first two rules. On the surface, they sounded like the perfect blueprint for safety. They were clear, memorable, and reassuring. If you lived in Asimov's imagined future, you might think, well, if machines are built this way, then we're safe. But even in his own stories, Asimov showed how fragile those rules really were. What if a robot had to choose between two humans? What if harm wasn't physical but emotional or psychological? What if following an order created unintended consequences? The very thing that made the laws sound perfect, their simplicity, also made them impossible to apply in a complex world. And that's the paradox Asimov wanted us to see. Rules may comfort us, but when it comes to intelligence, especially one we create, simple rules rarely hold for long. So the question becomes, were the laws ever really about the robots? Or were they about us and our own need to believe that control is possible? When we bring Asimov's three laws into today's world, they start to fall apart almost immediately. Modern AI isn't a humanoid robot following voice commands. It's algorithms deciding what you see online, models predicting whether you get a loan, and systems shaping how police or governments act. In that world, "don't harm humans" is far too vague. What does harm even mean? Is it physical injury, emotional distress, financial loss, or even long-term societal damage? The second law, obey orders, also breaks down quickly. Who gets to give the orders? The programmer? The company that owns the AI? The person interacting with it? Imagine an AI that takes one person's request, but in doing so discriminates against thousands of others. Did it obey, or did it cause harm? And the third law, self-preservation, seems almost laughable in the age of cloud servers and disposable code. An AI doesn't care about existence in the way a robot body might. It can be copied, deleted, or restarted without consequence. The point is, ethics in AI today isn't something you can reduce to three neat rules. It's messy, layered, and full of trade-offs. That's why debates rage around fairness, transparency, and accountability. And maybe that's the hidden truth Asimov was hinting at all along. The moment we try to make intelligence safe with simple rules, we discover just how hard it is to define safety itself. Which brings us back to a deeper question. If the rules don't really work, then what are we actually afraid of? Maybe what we fear isn't the machine at all, but the mirror it holds up to us. The Asimov's laws were never really about programming. They were about human desires and human fears. We wanted reassurance that our creations would never turn against us, even though history shows that humans often turn against each other. The idea of controlling intelligence with rules reflects a deeper struggle. We don't always agree on ethics ourselves. Nations, cultures, even individuals have different values, different definitions of harm, and different ideas of justice. If we can't agree on universal ethics for humans, how can we ever expect to code them into machines? And maybe that's why Asimov's legacy is so powerful. His laws still echo today, not because they're practical, but because they remind us of the bigger questions. Who gets to decide what's right? What do we fear losing when machines gain more autonomy? And are we trying to protect ourselves from robots, or from the parts of ourselves we're afraid to confront? AI ethics isn't just a technical challenge. It's a philosophical mirror, showing us that the real test is not whether machines can follow rules, but whether we can live by the ones we set. That's why Asimov's three laws endure, not as a blueprint for building AI, but as a story about us, our hopes, and our anxieties about what it means to create intelligence in our own image. He gave us the Three Laws of Robotics as a story, but they live on as something much bigger. A reminder that the ethics of artificial intelligence is never really about the machines. It's about us, our fears, our contradictions, Our need to believe we can control what we create. And maybe that's the real legacy. Not that robots will always obey three simple laws, but that we're challenged to ask harder questions about how we live with technology and with each other. Thanks for watching From Carbon to AI. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe for more timeless stories about the history, philosophy, and curiosities of artificial intelligence. And let me know in the comments. If you could add a fourth law to Asimov's list, what would it be?